Most definitely. Do you think that Charles will be able to move on from this and not allow his tenure as king, his reign, to be tainted by this scandal?
Ooh, I mean, there's so much that King Charles has had to dodge over the last few years. Racism allegations, Harry and Meghan lobbing those from the United States.
January 2026. The royal family has just crawled out of one of its most chaotic years in decades. And now another controversy is bubbling up that insiders say could reopen old wounds fast. Fresh reports are circulating about Prince Andrew, the disgraced royal who lost his titles and privileges, and alleged past social overlaps with Meghan Markle that were never openly discussed. According to multiple commentators, Meghan and Andrew may have crossed paths in elite social settings years before Prince Harry entered the picture. These claims focus on overlapping high society circles that palace sources say were quietly discouraged from public discussion at the time. What's raising eyebrows now is that reactions behind palace doors from King Charles III and Catherine are being described as unusually tense. Royal watchers say the palace is scrambling because if these long-standing rumors are even partially accurate, uncomfortable questions follow fast. If Andrew was already familiar with Meghan through shared elite networks, critics argue that Harry may not have fully understood how far back those connections possibly went. Here's what's reportedly fueling the speculation. In October 2025, King Charles officially removed Andrew's remaining royal status and housing privileges, reducing him to his private name alone. Commentators claim that when someone loses everything publicly, attention often shifts to what they may have known quietly for years. Several royal analysts allege Andrew had prior awareness of Meghan's presence in high-end social environments long before her royal relationship. These claims emphasize proximity, not wrongdoing, but they've still sparked panic among insiders who fear renewed scrutiny. One detail frequently cited is the confirmed leak of Harry and Meghan's relationship to the press in October 2016. Author Tina Brown reported that a staff member linked to Andrew's household tipped off tabloids. The question remains, why that household and why so early? Some speculate the leak may have been motivated by internal tensions or unspoken history within shared social circles. No proof confirms intent, but the timing continues to raise questions among biographers. Another moment often discussed is Harry's own account that Meghan once mistook Andrew for a staff member during an early meeting. Critics point out that Meghan was already friends with Princess Eugenie, Andrew's daughter, making the confusion puzzling to some observers.
Yes, I mean, look, we know that the couple have been plagued by allegations that they're difficult to work for. Many people have actually left employment there and needed long-term therapy, as it was said in the there, having worked with the Duchess. No suggestion necessarily that this chap was being bullied. Some reports that they were unhappy with him.
Royal biographers have openly questioned how someone close to Eugenie might not recognize her father. Others argue nerves or unfamiliar settings could explain it. Still, palace insiders reportedly noticed the moment and found it awkward. Sources close to Andrew have claimed his household was displeased by the incident, though no public statement was ever made. Whether coincidence, misunderstanding, or something deeper, the whispers haven't stopped. That awkward public moment may explain why people close to Prince Andrew allegedly leaked the relationship shortly after. Royal commentators believe it wasn't random timing, but a reaction rooted in long-standing tension that surfaced at the worst possible moment. Now let's talk about what many royal watchers call Meghan's mystery years before Suits. These are the years critics say remain loosely documented, when Meghan Markle was reportedly moving through elite social spaces that rarely leave clear paper trails. Online, old photographs began circulating years ago, showing groups of women attending luxury yacht events linked to Andrew and other high-profile figures. None of these images were ever confirmed to show Meghan, but the timing alone sparked intense speculation that caught fire fast. What stood out wasn't the photos themselves, but how quickly the conversation shut down. Fact-checking sites moved at lightning speed. Media outlets echoed identical conclusions, and the palace stayed officially silent. Observers questioned why such urgency was needed if there was nothing to investigate. Commentators argue that even if those photos never involved Meghan, the larger implication worried insiders.
I feel as if the media treats women unfairly.
You don't really have an opinion. And I think it's quite fun to keep coming back with an opinion. Is that the rebel in me?
I think that might be the rebel in you.
Once people start digging into overlapping elite social networks, the trail can widen fast, pulling in names and connections nobody wants re-examined. Author Kirby Summers has written extensively about Meghan's presence at luxury events with wealthy individuals. Separately, Andrew's history of yacht gatherings with powerful figures was already public knowledge. Analysts say the overlap in social environments alone raised red flags for palace strategists. Did Meghan and Andrew ever cross paths directly? There's no proof. But did they move through interconnected elite circles at different times? That question alone made palace insiders nervous, according to royal observers. Here's where the situation grows even stranger. Despite publicly stripping Andrew of titles and privileges, King Charles III has reportedly softened his stance behind closed doors. Frequent calls, limited staff access, and quieter management suggest deeper concerns. Royal analysts note Charles has never hesitated to protect the monarchy, even when it meant sacrificing family members publicly. So why the private caution now? Some speculate it's about managing sensitive information Andrew may still hold, unrelated to any single scandal. Several biographers claim Charles immediately drew comparisons between Meghan and Sarah Ferguson when Harry introduced her. Outsider status, intense media attention, early praise followed by chaos, it felt familiar to him. Royal writer Nigel Cawthorne has said Charles anticipated serious problems long before they became public. Not from dislike, but from experience watching similar patterns play out repeatedly. Meanwhile, Catherine has remained completely silent on all Sussex matters. No comments, no reactions, no engagement, just discipline. Sources claim her concerns are private, focused on how deeply royal controversies intertwine. In December 2025, newly released Epstein-related documents added another layer. They didn't accuse Harry or Meghan of wrongdoing.
I got approached by a guy named Jeff Rayner, who spoke to me and said, "I can change your image," he said. The idea was that these would all be candid shots, discreet, no one would know they were posed or anything. It would be just me doing my routine daily. I was feeling that this was very hokey and hammy.
But revealed how valuable their names were in media narratives connected to Andrew. One internal email from March 2020 showed analysts tracking an article linking Prince Harry's comments to Andrew's scandal. That single story reportedly generated millions in publicity value, proving how tightly these narratives were intertwined. Public fascination wasn't accidental. Media audiences were obsessed with any perceived link between Harry's uncle and Harry's wife, turning rumor into relentless coverage that the palace struggled to contain. Here's where things take a serious turn. Back in 2021, a lawyer representing Virginia Giuffre publicly stated he wanted to depose Meghan Markle in the civil case involving Prince Andrew. Not because Meghan was accused of anything, but because the attorney believed she might have relevant knowledge about Andrew's social environment. That alone raised eyebrows across royal watching circles. A legal professional involved in a high-profile case believed Meghan potentially knew something about Andrew's associations and elite networks. The deposition never happened because the case settled, but the statement remains part of the public record. Analysts immediately asked the obvious question: how would Meghan have insight into Andrew's social world unless she had spent time around similar elite environments? No wrongdoing implied, but proximity alone sparked intense speculation among commentators. Here's the harsh reality palace insiders reportedly face. Even if Meghan and Andrew crossed paths socially before Prince Harry, the royal household can never openly address it. Doing so would mean admitting background vetting didn't fully map out every elite connection. It would also mean acknowledging that Harry's situation was more complicated than anyone publicly admitted. His departure from royal life fractured relationships with Prince William, strained ties with King Charles III, and left unresolved questions nobody wants to revisit. Instead, the palace strategy has been silence. Individual rumors get addressed only when unavoidable, but the broader issue, whether Meghan and Andrew once moved through connected elite social spaces, remains untouched. Now rewind to October 2016. Harry and Meghan had been dating quietly for months. Harry wanted privacy and time, but suddenly the relationship...
I'm not going to go down to this point. I'm going to answer your questions, but that's done. It's finished. I've answered it. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next question.
This is just the starting point of this year in your life that you've written about.
Thank you very much.
It's pivotal. It's what started the whole thing.
Thank you.
You do write, though, that this tabloid scandal, in fact, you almost feel thankful for it. It let you, I don't know, review your life, see where you were.
Was leaked to the Sunday Express by a staff member connected to Andrew's household. The headline was glowing. Meghan was portrayed as graceful, charitable, and perfect for the role. Royal commentators later questioned why such positive framing came from that specific source and at that specific moment. Why would Andrew's staff involve themselves in Harry's personal life? Why push the story out early when Harry wanted silence? Analysts say several explanations exist, none proven, but all intriguing. Some suggest the leak aimed to control the narrative before rumors spread. Others believe Andrew's household already had background awareness of Meghan through shared elite circles. Others think it served a strategic internal purpose no one has fully explained. Author Tina Brown noted the favorable coverage may have benefited the monarchy initially, but the unanswered question remains: why did it originate from Andrew's side? From Harry's perspective, the situation looks very different. He believes he met Meghan through Princess Eugenie in a natural introduction. He believes resistance from the family came later and for different reasons. What Harry may not fully know, according to commentators, is the extent of background discussions happening around him. He reportedly wasn't told about the leak's origin, overlapping social speculation, or why legal teams once considered Meghan relevant to Andrew's case.
I'd like to look at a timeline of what's happened for Meghan, because over time she started off, and there was no question that she had, her values were about forwarding Meghan. You know, that's what it's about. And about, you know, covering that with a bit of charity work. How lovely. So she meets a prince.
Royal observers claim this protective silence wasn't meant to deceive Harry, but to shield him from complex, uncomfortable information during a fragile period. That silence helps explain current dynamics. Why William keeps distance, why Charles remains careful, why Catherine maintains formal boundaries. According to sources, Charles and Catherine even held private discussions in late December about managing ongoing risks tied to Andrew's situation. Not public drama, but quiet containment, and that's the key point analysts keep stressing. The silence isn't proof of guilt or innocence. It's proof that answering these questions would open doors the palace may never be able to close. This isn't just about Andrew's Epstein controversy anymore. Royal analysts say the real tension centers on what information might exist about overlapping elite social networks and who knows what. That's where things get sensitive fast. According to reports, King Charles III is carefully weighing different strategies to keep Prince Andrew from speaking freely about private royal matters. That reportedly includes limited access, controlled contact, and quiet management rather than open confrontation. Some commentators point out that the royal household has already dealt with damaging workplace rumors in recent years. Past allegations claimed certain environments were difficult, though no formal findings of wrongdoing were made. Importantly, no accusations are being leveled here, just context for why the palace is extra cautious. Behind the scenes, Catherine is said to favor a firmer approach. Sources claim she believes accommodating Andrew only creates long-term risks. Her preference is clear separation, strict boundaries, and zero opportunity for private information to be discussed publicly. Prince William is reportedly caught in the middle. He understands his father's desire for calm, but leans toward Catherine's protective instincts. Analysts say William recognizes that if Andrew speaks openly about elite social connections, the fallout wouldn't stop with the Sussexes. It would hit the monarchy itself. That's the core fear. Any discussion of overlapping elite circles raises questions about royal vetting processes. That's why Charles focuses on careful containment. Catherine pushes for distance.
Outlets because they don't like what they're going to say. It's so bizarre to me because while he complains about it, he does the same thing that everybody else does, that the royal family does.
Oh, exactly. No, they're all trading information and trying to protect their principles. But even with, my story with him and the fight with Andrew, which was, a paragraph in my book.
And William quietly prepares for possible revelations. Notably, Meghan Markle has remained completely silent on Andrew's loss of titles and the Epstein-related document releases. No statements, no commentary, no positioning. Observers say the silence stands out because Meghan usually addresses issues she considers important. Some analysts interpret that silence as strategic. Speaking would invite questions about background investigations, elite networking, and timelines. Questions no one wants reopened. Silence avoids creating new headlines. Meanwhile, British media attention has increasingly focused on Prince Harry and Meghan. Sources claim Meghan is privately concerned about what Andrew might reveal if he ever speaks freely. Once someone has lost everything, leverage disappears. Commentators emphasize that none of this proves wrongdoing. What it highlights is proximity. Meghan's career before Suits included high-end networking events and luxury social environments. Separately, Andrew was known to move in elite circles involving powerful figures. Analysts say those worlds overlapped broadly, even if specific meetings were never confirmed. Royal watchers speculate that shared connections may have existed over time. That possibility alone created complications once Meghan entered the royal orbit through Princess Eugenie and eventually met Harry. When Andrew's household later leaked the relationship, the move puzzled insiders. When Meghan reportedly didn't recognize Andrew at an early meeting, questions followed. Palace officials reportedly noticed overlapping social histories that made everything more complex. Stopping the wedding would have required explanations no one wanted to give. So the monarchy moved forward while managing concerns privately. Now, with Andrew stripped of status, information exists across multiple parties and control becomes harder. That's why insiders say the issue isn't if these elite social connections existed, but when broader details might surface. Andrew knows things. The palace investigated thoroughly, and Meghan's continued silence on Andrew-related matters keeps analysts talking. This isn't about proof. It's about unanswered questions the palace never wanted reopened. If you want clear breakdowns, real timelines, and no-nonsense analysis of royal controversies like this one, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.